It's another Monday and the Common Sense edition of the 4th October 2021. There could never be a better way to start off your week than on the tackle, the Common Sense edition, Life and Money on the 4th October 2021. It's a pleasure to have you. As usual, I request that when you join, please like. When you like, we get to know that you're watching us. And after like, please share. When you share, you give someone else an opportunity to watch the broadcast. This is the tackle and begins now. Tafadhali piga like pale, alafu unapiga share pia, alafu tuweze kuzungumza pamoja. Tafadhali let us know where you watching us from as well this morning. Kama kawaida, kama tujaenda sana, lazima pia tuende mbele za Mungu tuombe, alafu tukirudi basi nakuja kuwapa salamu zenu. Sioni kama kuna makosa leo Irene kutuombe. Panga hii. Irene, good morning.
Morning.
How's your Monday?
Why are you ambushing us to pray?
No, prayer is not an ambush. Okay, Amos, can you pray for us?
Can he pray, really? Let's pray. Dear Lord, we come before your presence this morning. We thank you for bringing us here and keeping us safe. We pray for this country that you may help us make the right decisions that impact us positively and our leaders as well. And even as we share today, we hope that someone gets encouraged and probably gets an idea to work on something that they've been planning. In Jesus' name I pray and believe.
Amen. Amen. Asante sana. This is a Common Sense edition of the 4th of October 2021, and we get to talk about your life and your money. We talk about your life and your money. Tuzungumzia biashara, tuzungumzia pia maisha yako, vile mambo yanavyokuwa dunia hii. Haya, naona wangona mamka tayari mapema. Mungu alita continue. And someone in Team Tackle tuning in from Convent United Kingdom. Good be blessed with this morning's state of it's not the state of the nation, Baba. Munga, today is a Common Sense edition. The state of the nation is tomorrow, the Tuesday of 5th. Asante sana, good to see you, my brother Munga Lita continue all the way from the Convent United Kingdom. Abidris, good morning. Eldoret tuned in to the show. Asante sana. Kibet Nigane Junior. And some good morning, Team Tackle. Good morning to Jack Limo following from Suswa, Narok County. Tuko pamoja bwana Bitok. Asante sana. Kokoip Lomeri, good morning Bitok, watching live from Marakwet. Do have a blessed week. Thank you. Good to see you, Kokoip. Lamex Rabi Lamex Lenaola. Anasema mlete Brian Weke Mololo hapo. Haya basi, wiki ndio tunaanza. Mambo taanza kuanzia kesho haya angwana. Mutisa Nzimi, good morning GB and the rest of the team. Good to see you. Kibet anasema watching live from Nyeri. Asante ndugu yangu. Bekin Keino Junior, good morning my friend. Good morning to you my brother. Larry Kimonori, good morning. Gerald Bitok watching you live from Kericho. Chezin Ken contractors. Asante sana. Jared Kimeto mheshimiwa. Tapsagoi anasema blessed week. Jared Rono and Jeptap Kibiri. It's good to see you my brother. Good morning. Steven Sorobit, good morning, watching you live from Eldoret. Rochi Duncan, good morning Bitok watching you live from Shokimau. Leon Maxwell Kilach, ukiniambia niombe nitaomba kwa Kiyahudi. Haya, ndio asante. Haya basi tuombe kwa Kiyahudi tusikie hiyo pia. Ruchep Kosgei, it's been a long time. Good morning from Nanyuki. Nanyuki, new week, we thank God. It's a new week, it's a new man. Domi King, Domi mwenyewe. So good morning my people. Good morning to you Domi. Leo umerauka mapema sana. Good to see you. Mutish Mutinda watching live from Bomet Kanain constituency Millicent Europe. Good to see you Millie. And so good morning Gerald, Australia tuko ndani. Thank you so much all the guys from Australia, the land down under. Good to see you this morning. Brand Doa tuko ndani. Brand Kibet, good morning. Can we please not get number on the corruption vices, especially client 13173 live from Kaptich Nandi. Haya, sijui kama pesa yako imetosha uitwe client nambari ama unaitwa tu customer. Leon Maxwell watching from Nairobi. Mosgibaru, good to see you. Tukitoka hapa ndani ya ofisi laughing this. Asante sana. Sebastian Kibet kijanangu, good morning GB show iko moto kama pasi county 035. Asante sana. Leo tuko na Amos Kibaru mgeni kwa mara ya kwanza leo. Jamaa anauza kineto mkeka wa mbao. Atatuambia mkeka wa mbao vipi. Jamaa wa Floor Decor Kenya, Yava Amos Kibaru, the CEO Floor Decor Kenya. Na kama kawaida tuko na Irene Wanjiku, CEO Rex Roofing, watu wa kuweka paa. Huyo anaweka paa, huyo anaweka sakavu. Haya, okay. Na Mungu ni mwema. Mungu alita continue. Oh, that's because I worked yesterday. So thinking today is Tuesday. My apologies. Haya, Leonard Kemerin Nico locked until end. Zach from Nakuru. Flash Mother Kenya. Sama bro, good to see you my brother. Flash Mother, karibu Kenya. Asante sana. Irene, habari ya weekend?
Salama sana.
You what?
Yes, I am.
How's your weekend?
Good. I think like I always say, weekends are the time to reflect, rest and recharge.
Okay.
Where is the recharge today?
The recharge today, these guys have not lori li pata puncture kidogo barabarani lakini kuanzia kesho recharge itakuwa.
Okay.
So you've recharged for the weekend?
Yes.
What were some of your reflections over the weekend?
I think it's really I saw this thing that's going around on where our money is. I don't know whether it's our money or whose money it is, but I'm suspecting it's our money.
Unasikia mahali ni kama ni yenu.
Yeah, and of course it's very sad because you know I think there's a lot. Sometimes we say the country people are broke, but mainly I think people are broke because of funds that should be here, but they are not here. But yeah, those are some of the reflections that I've been thinking about. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you feel your money being called 13173?
Sad.
Na wewe mahali unaficha yako unaitwa customer au unaitwa client? Client 12173.
I hope I hope they call me by my name. Not by numbers.
Najua ukianza kuitwa nambari inamaanisha pesa imekuwa mingi.
Oh, number
so
is
much
that even your name doesn't count.
They even fear putting you and your name in between. You even fear.
Yeah, true.
Amos, good to see you.
Yeah, Monday morning.
This is your first time on the tackle.
Yeah, the first time.
Habari ya mkeka?
Mkeka sawa, iko sawa. Mkeka ambao iko sawa. Kabisa.
Haya, wacha nikupa nafasi ujiintroduce kwa wangwana. Watu wako wako hapo mbele yako tu. Wazungumzie.
Yeah. Kwa majina ni Amos Kibaru. Ale Floor Decor. Tuko na product ambayo inajulikana sana mkeka ambao, but besides that tuko na mafloor ina mengi, na Pargo. Na kuna moja inakuja kali.
Ala?
So beam to beam flooring, structural.
Beam to beam.
Yes.
Okay.
Yani kwa kishort ni floor ambayo ni ya slab. Just slab tunajenga na miti. Tunaweka chuma. Tunatumia yani barabara mrefu sana. Sasa pale Floor Decor tuko na hiyo structural flooring ambayo hatukati miti tena. We are going eco.
Okay.
Save our trees. Na tunajenga nyumba mazuri quick.
So what do you make? What do you use to make that?
We use concrete. Na concrete kuna mambo mengi. Kuna kwa Kileman language kuna concrete ambayo
concrete ni simiti.
Simiti. Una mix kokoto, maji na simiti. Ile concrete ambayo watu wengi wanajua ni ile inaitwa plain concrete. Plain tu ni ile kokoto na manino na mwaga. Kuna ingine inaitwa reinforce, unaweka chuma ndani. Unasikia wakisema D12, GY10, Y what. And then kuna ingine inaitwa pre-stress. Yani concrete iko na stress.
Okay.
Hiyo stress ni kitu gani bana? Unachukua chuma ambayo inaitwa high strength steel. Chuma ambayo unaweza kuvuta kama ile waya ya gitaa. Ambayo ni chuma unaona daily. Ile chuma unaonanga kwa crane. Unavuta hivi kanatoshana hivi lakini ana nguvu. Ukikakaza kanakazika.
Okay.
Tuseme ni chuma iko na carbon ndani. Ukikaza unakaza alafu unamwagilia kokoto juu. Kisha kauka ndani kama imekazwa. Afu release ile kukaza hiyo waya. Hiyo waya inataka kurudi, kokoto inakataa. Sasa hiyo ndio stress.
Hiyo ndio concrete ambayo iko na stress.
Hiyo ndio concrete ambayo iko na stress. Na hiyo ndio tunatumia kujenga mabarabara ya China, mabridge. Hii barabara inaitwa expressway. Hii ya ghorofa. Double decker. Umeona miti chini?
Sijaona.
Hiyo ndio stress concrete.
Leonard Zarem kutoka diaspora anasema The Tackle is now the best morning show with different segments. Pongezi bro, asante sana. So simiti iko na stress.
Simiti iko na stress.
So what happens hiyo kitu ikirudi, what will happen?
Sasa
hii yenye wa China wameweka ikirudi kitu itaacha kuwa na bodega, itarudi chini.
Sasa ile simiti wameweka pale nao iko na class.
Okay.
Simiti ambayo tunajenga nao kawaida na kwa class 15 to 25. Ile unaweza ile simiti ya bridge iko class 60. Okay. Imeshikamana kabisa na nguvu. Class 60 hiyo ni tensile strength ya kokoto ile. Sasa ikishakauka alafu achilia stress ile chuma. Kile tunasema kokoto inakuwa na compressive, ina compress, ikikauka ina compress, lakini inaanga kitu inaitwa flexion. Okay. Hezi ku flex. Ukienda ku flex ina katika ama ina crack kama biscuit. So na wanda inakaango hiyo chuma ndani. Okay. Ndio ukijaribu kuipatia hiyo flexion, chuma ndio inapata hiyo flex. So kwa hiyo kokoto ya class 60 ambayo imewekwa chuma ya stress, ukirelease chuma inajaribu kwenda, kokoto ilishafunga barabara. Sasa inataka kuingia, kokoto inakataa. Sasa hiyo ndio tunatumia kama flexion. Okay. Ndio kwa kwenye bridge umeona truck zito imepita, unasikia bridge kama inasaga alafu inarudi. Kwa sababu ile chuma iko ndani iko na flexion. Ndio hiyo tunatumia kujenga manyumba nayo sasa.
Ala.
Na kuna siku 21.
Nyumba iko na spring.
Iko na spring. Nongoji 21 days ikauke.
So maybe you can, because it looks like you're doing a lot of things. I would just want to give you an opportunity to maybe properly introduce Floor Decor.
Yeah.
What is Floor Decor? Which products do you deal with?
Good.
Moja kwa moja, and why do you deal with them?
Well, Floor Decor ni kampuni ambayo imeanza 10 years ago. Tunashughulika na mambo ya sakafu. Tukakaa tukaona toka miaka ya jadi. Sakafu imekuwa red oxide, ile ya red unaikumbuka. Before then tulikuwa tunatengeneza sakafu za kinyesi cow dung na mix. Napiga then tukagraduate tukakuja kwa hiyo ya red oxide. Wale walikuwa kidogo juu walikuwa wanaweka tu PVC tungine tudogo hivi. Na wale walikuwa na hela walikuwa wanaweka tumbao tunaitwa wood parquet. Ziko mpaka kati huu. But technology improve. Mambo yamechange. Hapo ndio Floor Decor wamekujia na miundo mipya ya flooring
Ya sakafu.
ya sakafu. So tukaona unid kushinda ukiweka sakafu. Tuanze na yenye sasa yenye iko kwa market inaitwa ceramic tile. Ceramic tile ni mzuri unaweka na cement. Lakini uko kule Kericho sijui Eldoret baridi. Inakupa arthritis, inaangusha watu. Kazi mingi kuweka zinavunjika. Sisi tumekuja na floors za aina mingi. Kuna sasa kama ile inaitwa mkeka ambao. Mkeka ambao ni ile PVC tulikuwa nao miaka ya kitambo. But imekuja ikuwa kitu maridadi. Iko na prints na kambao. Watu wengi wanataka mbao lakini wataki ku maintain. Mkeka ambao inakuja na hiyo print ambayo inafurahisha macho. Lakini maintenance hamna. Haikuli na mchwa. Na ni waterproof. Na kuinstall hakuna mambo ya glue. Unabwaga tu chini. Inalala yenyewe kama mkeka.
Ala. Naeka tu sakafu chini na nasonga.
Inasonga alafu unapiga kitu inaitwa skirting kule kando. So kama wewe ni mtu ambaye uko na nyumba mpya, nahimiza tengeneza floor yako ikuwa tu smooth na ekelea mkeka ambao. Kama wewe ni mtu ambaye uko na hiyo sakafu na kusumbua na baridi, funika. Kama uko kwa rento, na rento nyumba ameweka tiles za maua zile ufurahishi. Funika siku ya kuhama utatoka na mkeka wako ambao.
So unaweza hama na mkeka
kabisa. Okay. Kama uko kwenye bafu, unajua siku hizi Gerard bana watu wanaanguka kwa bafu.
Sana.
It's very sad. Jamani kuna mkeka inaitwa safety vinyl ambayo inakaa kama sandpaper. Iko na grip. Okay. Hata ukikuwa unajua bafu challenge wa ni maji na sabuni. Hiyo ni recipe. Okay. Recipe mbaya sana ya kuangusha. So tunatumia safety vinyl ambayo iko na grip. Ikanyanga huwezi kuanguka hata kama uko na garage na unafanya mambo ya oil. Oil kwenye floor huwezi kuanguka. But hiyo ni floor tu moja ambayo imekuwa kubwa sana. Kuna floor ambayo inaitwa Pago. Pago ni wooden flooring ambayo ina interlock. Ni wood.
It's wood.
Nasema ya.
Okay.
Wateja wangu nasema spend your PVC hata nitumie mbao. So tuko nayo Pago. Na by the way Pago ndio ile kampuni ambayo wali invent your laminate flooring, so it's the best durability, easy to install, very beautiful. You just interlock.
So Pago and Floor Decor are one. I've always thought Pago is a different company.
No, Floor Decor ndio ile kampuni.
Okay.
Sisi ndio kampuni.
So Pago is a product.
Pago is a product. Hizi products zimekuwa very popular mpaka watu wanatuitanga Pago, wengine tutamkeka ambao. But sisi tunaitwa Floor Decor. Hizo ni mabrands tu za ma products.
Azikide ikifika mahali ambayo product inapita biashara. It's good. It means people are buying into your product. Right. So you have the PVC. You have the Pago.
I have the Pago. Kuna ingine inaitwa Mammalium.
Mammalium.
Nitaenda kueleza kitu moja pale hospitalini ama kwenye biashara. Sana hospitalini kuna kitu inaitwa hospital acquired infection. Ndeza ingia hospitali kuwa umeenda kumwona mgonjwa, ukatoka kuwa mgonjwa. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu sakafu wameweka ni mbaya.
Okay.
Mahali kama hospitali ni mahali very sensitive. So floor lazima ikue imetandazwa vizuri na haina ma joints hivi kama ile ya tile today. Inaitwa grout. Uto tu joints kwenye floor ndio nyumba kwa bakteria wanajificha kule ndani.
Okay.
So hii kitu inaitwa mammalium linoleum ndio floor nafaa kuwekwa kwenye hospitali. Haina joint mahali popote. Alafu kwenye ukuta kuna ikovu unainua tu kidogo hivi. Ndio saa zile unafanya clean kwenye edging hakuna kitu inajificha pale mwisho.
Okay.
So hiyo floor mammalium imekuwa very popular kwa hospitali. Ni vile tu hapa Kenya tujui, but honestly it's illegal to tile a hospital. Kama hospitali wameweka tiles makosa makubwa sana, ni vile building code zetu hazifuatiliwi, but hufai kuweka. They used to use a hospital floor ambayo ni antibacteria.
Your mammalium sasa.
Yeah, hiyo ni mammalium. Besides that kuna skirting base, tuna vitu mingi za flooring. na kuna hiyo nyamba nimekueleza ya structure. Sasa hizo ni interior floor. Sasa kwa mjengo kuna hiyo floor inaitwa beam to beam flooring, ambayo tunauhimiza kama unajenga kwenye cotton soil. Cotton soil ni black cotton. Mnajua ile black cotton inafura kama unga wa mandazi ule. Ina heave. Na unfortunately hapa Kenya 60% kuna cotton soil kila mahali. Ukiangalia kule Siaya, Nanyuki, Kinangop, kila mahali cotton soil. Sasa ile cotton soil wakati unapojenga unaitoa kwanza. Unaenda unaitupa. Unaichimba mpaka mahali utapata maram ama mahali utapata stable soil. Unatoa cotton. Sasa zingine unaweza enda hata 1 meter. Ukienda 1 meter ni hasara. Sababu utabeba matruck mengi sana pale. So unatoa hiyo mchanga yote, unaenda unatupa, unarudisha na red soil ama stable soil, una backfill, alafu ndio unajenga foundation. Sasa our product ambayo inaitwa beam to beam, ufai kufanya hayo mambo yote. Unachimba tu column ya nyumba mpaka mahali unafikia the stable soil, alafu una suspend nyumba juu.
Una suspend floor.
Hakuna mambo ya kutoa hiyo mchanga na kubafill, ni kazi mingi.
But now how is the costing? How is it cheaper to backfill or cheaper to do the suspended floor?
Suspended floor ni cheap. Backfill unaweza toa truck kama 100. Tuseme hata truck moja ni kaa 5,000 shillings. Wende utupe council unataka license. Alafu lazima tena urudishe tena ufill tena hiyo truck kama hizo 100. Pengine pia hiyo ni 5,000. Plot umenunua 500,000 pale Kitengela pale. So kama ununua plot 500,000 alafu inakuambia utoe trucks karibu 100 ama trucks 200 za soil, inakuja kama almost 800 ama hata 1 million. Hiyo 1 million ingekuwa ni pesa unajenga nyumba halfway. So our product is very cheap because we save you the cost of excavating the soil and backfilling the same. And then we save you time.
So it's a product that's already running. You're already doing the installation. Okay.
Yeah.
Uko na deni ya mtu hapa anaitwa Cleveland Otieno anasema tell Amos Kibaru atoe chai yangu. Nimeleta customers wengi sana. I think you were smart to have created a niche in the floor finishes. I remember telling developers way back in 2009 that wood laminate would be the game changer in future.
Otieno fan wetu mkubwa sana. Asante sana Otieno.
Utanipea nimpelekee. Najua mahali yuko. Haya. Wacha tuone masokoni tulipe madeni. Ndio sasa tulipa madeni hapa tutafunga. Niliambiwa nisiite kiosk. Ndio supermarket tutafunga supermarket. Sawa. This Common Sense edition every Monday is proudly brought to you by Rexa Roofing. Rexa Roofing roofs your world. Quality roofing shingles. I've always told you this, that there is no better way than building your house and ensuring that you have the most beautiful roof. You know, the roof is something that you see at first. Ukiona nyumba mtu, kitu ya kwanza unaona ni paa iko namna gani, imekaa vipi. Tuanze kuweka mabati kwa nyumba, tuweke vitu safi zaidi that makes your roof looks good. So I always tell you that your roof is your house's legacy. It's a legacy that runs or that lies on the top of your house. It's a crown to your house. So ensure that you do it and you invest in it properly. So Rexa Roofing gives you an opportunity to ensure that you have the most beautiful roof in town. Quality roofing shingles, different profiles. Watu wananitanga wananiambia siku hizi nimejua kuna inaitwa Roman profile, ingine inaitwa Oxford, ingine inaitwa nini? Cambridge. Ingine ni mwanda mambo mingi ya shingles. So yeah, that is a quality roofing shingles from Rexa Roofing. Ensure that your roof looks as beautiful as it should be. And I can tell you this, I can guarantee you that I don't know where you will be in the next 50 years. I don't know. Sijui mahali Amos atakuwa, sijui mahali mimi nitakuwa, sijui mahali Otieno atakuwa, but I can guarantee you that your roof will still be there with you if you roof with roofing shingles from Rexa Roofing with 50 years guarantee. 50 years guarantee on the products that you get from them, and they get to install it for you. Si mambo ya kuambia ati chukua sasa roof wewe ndio ujipange pale mbele. They do installation for you. And also, if you're doing a flat roof, all roofing solutions comes from Rexa Roofing. Waterproofing materials, that is waterproofing membrane and also waterproofing liquid. I was now on site over the week and I saw what was happening there. Very incredible work has been done on the waterproofing membrane. So you can roof your house, ensure that nyumba ukiwa ndani, sio nyumba uko ndani lakini kama uko nje, kwa sababu the way you build your wangwana mwacha shortcuts. So you can do waterproofing from by courtesy of Rexa Roofing. Waterproofing materials, that is waterproofing liquid and also waterproofing membrane. And you also want to harvest water. It's raining in Nairobi now. It rained yesterday. So kama nataka kuweka maji, wacha kulipa bili ya Kanjo na NMS. You can harvest your water using water harvesting UPVC, water harvesting gutters. Very safe water for consumption that you can use by Rexa Roofing as well. UPVC water harvesting roof gutters. Okay. Haya, na mwisho pia unaweza hakikisha kwamba nyumba yako inakaa mzuri kwa kuweka stone coated tiles. If you want to get a tradition, if you want to see more of a traditional look on your roof, you can use stone coated tiles as well from Rexa Roofing. Why all these products is because they give you the best deal on the products. Pale kwa roof kukinyesha uskima makelele mingi ambazo ziko. Another thing is the flexibility. You can see a product on your screen. That is a product that was done by shingles with shingles from Rexa Roofing. I don't know which profile that is, but you can. That's Cambridge. Yeah? So alright, so you can ensure that your roof looks as much as or as beautiful and as flexible as you want. You can turn it. You can make an egg from your house and uishi hapo ndani. You can decide to do a box. You can decide to do whatever you want to do with your roof. You can do it using quality roofing shingles from Rexa Roofing. Roofing roofs your world. You can visit www.rexaroofing.com, www.rexaroofing.com, or you can also call the number that should be on your screen. Some of the projects that have been done by Rexa Roofing, very iconic. And you go to the hub pale, if you kama wewe ni mtu umeai kanyaga Nairobi, ukienda pale current the app, the roof was done by Rexa Roofing. You can see that project as well, Brook House na mambo mengine. Sitaki kusema wateja wengi sana alafu wakuja wanifunge, but wherever you go and you see a shingle in Nairobi, if you see any shingle in Nairobi that is not faded, maana kuna zingine ambazo zimefed, any shingle in Nairobi that is not faded belongs to Rexa Roofing. So if you move around and you can see a roof that has not faded, that is made of shingles, no, that is Rexa Roofing. Take a picture and send me. I'll give you one shingle. Every picture I give you one piece of a shingle. Haya, Rexa Roofing roofs your world. Haya, turudi hapa kidogo nyumbani. I've seen a very beautiful house there. Anyway, pesa nilikukosea nini? Irene. Unasikia mambo ya Emos?
Yeah, nimesikia. Hata anafaa pia atueleze his journey in entrepreneurship, because he's been around for some time and he does really good stuff. Yeah, after this he should invite you to his showroom also.
I don't know why he's being mean. He's never invited me.
He should invite you. You see what stuff he's doing.
So there's a question for you here, Irene, from Cleveland. Asking, can you ask Irene to comment on the safety of water harvested from the stone-coated sheets and shingles?
Okay, so what happens, and that's a really nice question, because we get asked this question a lot. If you can harvest water from the stone-coated tiles. And the first answer is yes. Yes, you can collect the water, but it depends on where the stones have been made from and what coating has been used on it. So this is different for every manufacturer. So for instance, if they cannot ascertain where you have how they got to the granules and the color pigmentations of the granules, then you might be better off just using the water for gardening, and probably cleaning and such things. But I wouldn't recommend that you're harvesting that water to drink it. We also have another issue with the water here, is that there's also so much dust and so much impurities. So if you are certain that yes, the manufacturer has given, like our tiles, we have a written guarantee from the manufacturer that the pigmentation that is they are naturally mined, and if any pigmentation has been used, it's not harmful to anyone's life. Therefore, if you cannot get that in writing, then I wouldn't recommend that you're buying tiles from anywhere else and just drinking the water. But you can use it for other domestic purposes. I hope I've answered it.
Right, so they can use it for any domestic purposes.
Yeah, but depending on from where they've gotten the tiles from, some you can harvest and even use it. Of course, filter it.
So for Rexa Roofing, you can consume.
Yes, you filter it. Of course, we always recommend you have to filter and to treat the water.
Buru anaweza kunywa.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So she's speaking for shingles and stone-coated tiles from Rexa Roofing. If you buy elsewhere, that's where you are trying to commit suicide. So he's speaking for Rexa Roofing, roofing tiles and also shingles. So you can harvest water. It's safe for consumption, but try and take the safety precautions, the normal safety precautions, basic ya kufilter maji, treat it, because you never know pia uko kwa flow. Maybe kulikuwa na labda kwa roof. Maybe uko kwa roof. Mandege walikuwa naishi huko juu, wamefanya mambo yao. So you have to be
the dust also,
the dust,
impurities. So treat the water.
All right. So umesikia Cleveland Otieno, you can consume water harvested using roofing shingles and stone-coated tiles only from Rexa Roofing. You can speak for Rexa Roofing. Ukienda kwa barabara ununue vitu zako, basi hiyo sasa tutakwambia
yeah, like you can imagine when you look at some tiles that have faded, can you imagine if you are drinking that water? It means all you are drinking is the paint, because sometimes you move around and see a lot of faded tiles. Where did the paint go? You know, so if you are all the granules, some even lose the granules, so the granules are falling off. Can you imagine if you're drinking that kind of water? So you have to be careful. Yeah.
Granules zinaenda inabaki tu nini? Rubber. Okay.
Even like unaona tu mabati tu ndio imebaki like the only all granules fell off. Now you are left with a shiny thing on your roof.
Okay.
That's quality problems, of course. Yeah. But those are some of the challenges that are there, you know, when in the industry, especially in our construction industry. I'm sure even Amos will speak to that, where people now start bringing in counterfeits, imitations, and trying to sell them like they are the right brand. So we are having that happening a lot in the industry currently.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Amos, back to you. Maybe you can just take us briefly through your entrepreneurial journey. How has it been like? You know, ulianza lini? Kwa nini? Ulipatana wapi na Floor? How has it been like?
I'm an IT person by profession. To IT. So basically, I started when way back in 2000. Sisi ndio wale watu tulikuwa tuna graduate na ile kitu inaitwa millennium bug. Kumbuka year 2000. Y2G.
Ndio wale wase.
Sisi ndio wale wase. Kwa tumeambiwa kutakuwa na shutdown. Computers zita shutdown, watu watapata pesa.
Nasikia Yesu anarudi. Tulishtuka sana. Tulikuwa watoto tukasema itarudi kama hatujaona mambo ya dunia.
So kule kwa IT way back, we never had computers. I remember when I first opened my wananchi online account. Ilikuwa wananchi ama ilikuwa gani? My first email way back in 1997. Kwa watu wana emails. Ulikuwa unaenda hata kuko na cyber. So when the Y2G came about, watu wakaanza kupata accounts za Yahoo Mail, watu wakaanza kupata access ya internet. Watu wakaanza kuklama sasa kuwa na makompyuta kwa nyumba. Na education system ukiwa campus lazima ungesoma na computer. So back then is when I started. I was among the first few people when we started assembling computers, clones, like motherboard. Nabai hard disk pale, nabai memory hapa. And then unasema unapata computer. Computer ilikuwa very expensive. Ungeona computer mahali? Bwana. Monitor ya white ile ilikuwa tulikuwa tunaita mtungi. It was a big thing.
Mrefu.
Yeah. So been the journey, and then the new president came in, that was back in 2002, and he actually removed taxes on computers so people can afford computers. So it became a big thing. Kauza makompyuta, watu wakaanza kununua makompyuta, basic ashuka, laptop ilikuwa inatoka 300,000. I used laptop. But then when the government focused more on removing taxes on the IT stuff, things changed. So biashara tukaendelea nayo hivyo until 2006 kukakuja kinaitwa fiber optics. Tukaanza kupata internet. Way back browsing internet, it was a dial up. Kakitu kalikuwa kanalia and to cost like maybe 20 shillings per minute. But then when this fiber thing came about, internet really changed. So my entrepreneurial journey started with being on IT. But the invention of internet, the cheap internet, brought about the change also in the business that we were doing. I mean, biashara inaweza change overnight. So when the internet came about and the affordability of it on how people can access internet, things change. Kuna mtu alikuja anaitwa Idios. Kumbuka Idios? Simu. So this Idios phone was an Android platform, like, and everyone could afford an Idios phone. So the Idios affordability and accessibility of internet on the devices started to change the uptake of computers. So why would I need a computer? Well, a software called a phone called Idios with running on a platform called Android. You can browse and you can send emails. You can even work on it. So the change from the hardware of IT started changing, and this is where tunaanza kufikiria mambo ya kuchange biashara. So the rest is history. 2008 wakaleta kompyuta nyingine ndogo ilikuwa inaitwa Atom. Ikaondoa watu wakuuza ma desktop kwa biashara, because most university students would now buy that tiny laptop called Atom. and no more desktop. And then the business environment changed. The way, because technology changes very fast. Today you might be here, tomorrow you're here. Anything new coming, inatoa loko kwa soko kwa biashara. And from there I transited from the IT to kwa mijengo. It started very funny because I was back in the US. I used to buy those used computers in the US. And I used to.
You're in the US?
No, really. I used to. My entrepreneurial journey has been more of an importer. So I used to buy my first computers in Dubai. A place called Naenda, and it was Sharjah. We were the first people who JMP roundabout. For people who've been to Dubai, they know the place. 2003, 4, 5. But then the environment there became very competitive, so I had to look for other suppliers. So I found myself in the US because I knew these Pakistani people in Sharjah also buying them from the US. So through the same technology, Kina Google, I was able to Google. I think I first went to Alibaba in 2006. So now Alibaba showed me some suppliers, and I went to US, to some place called Detroit, Michigan. And I first loaded my first 20-feet container from there. Kuja tukauza Kenya, ikaenda sana. Like that. I did so many times. But then back in the US, I was admiring how these people actually build the houses. The floor type that they have. So wakati hii biashara ya kompyuta ilianza kuwa chini, nikaanza kuweka container zangu nusu kompyuta, nusu naeka vitu za mijengo. Hata si vitu za mijengo basically. In fact, I started selling those bikes. Unaona hizi bikes za USA, vikombe, spoons.
Kwanza kuweka masahani.
Masahani tumeuza sana bana. I used to be, we were among the first people to bring, I used to call them market nice. I used to bring those used products, and they used to do very well. The system or the what product that were there in the market, the new ones were not very durable, and people preferred to buy the used one because of high quality. Remember, the country, as Irene said, imejaa counterfeit. And why do we buy counterfeit? Because watu wana bargain sana. Na hiyo kubargain, mtu anapatianga kitu ya mahali mfuko yake inafika.
Ya bei yako. Nasema ningoje kidogo. Alafu unaenda unakaranga yake. Unamletea.
Yeah, you don't want to lose that business. Unapatia customer kitu ya bei yake. That is, and unfortunate, the other side of the world, and maybe Southeast Asia, they're very good at that. But this usually happens when the government doesn't put in key measures at the port of entry to protect the consumers. So if there's no protection by the consumers, those things find their way in here. Mchina akiambiwa manufacture the same product apeleke Marekani, hatakata juu anajua Marekani itaingia. Because they are good protection. That is how. But now we're in an economic system where people want to have something, but wafiki bei. So this is where the substandard product comes in. You're given the right product at your price. Ile original ni pesa mingi, watu wanunui. But over the period of time, watu wamelana. Afadhali kitu ya pesa mingi na ikulast. So back to my story, we used to sell those used products because they were affordable and they were of high quality. So meuza hiyo vikombe, masabuni, bikes. Nikaanza kuleta flooring kidogo hiyo malaminate floor hapo, naleta pallet moja. I used to buy them in the US, liquidated stuff. Nika notice hawa customer wangu wa vikombe, hizi vitu ngine wanunua sana hii, wanapenda floor. So it was also a gradual, nikaacha kuleta vikombe nikaanza kuingia kwa floor. The next big thing is like nikakuwa mtu wa flooring. And I thank God because
ukaacha na vikombe sasa.
Nikaacha na vikombe na yo hata wale wanakuja kuniliza vikombe. Niko naletea mataa zingine mzuri. Nipigia ananiambia wewe, you sold me that thing, I still have it. So and I got into that kind of flooring business. And with my IT background, I was able to market it vigorously online. So, create my website, go on those Facebook platform and market it. And to be honest, I grew the brand Pargo online, basically. Yeah. That's been my journey. And it's another 10 years now. I'm now graduating to... Unaona mpaka tunajenga fence.
Ndio nimeshangaa, mtao karanga kila kitu. Kwa fence, vikombe, yani nini umebakisha sasa? All under one roof.
Yeah, entrepreneur is it's a journey, and you keep reinventing yourself.
So what are some of the lessons that you think you've learned through your journey, through a journey of 10 years, from running around with computers to selling spoons and cups? then doing floors. And what would you say has been some of the biggest lessons that you picked along the way?
Being consistent, being honest also, and selling people the right product. Over time, you might look very expensive initially, but when you sell one product and people have them in your homes for a very long time, wanaanza kuassociate na ile kitu ni mzuri. Yeah. But I was, like I've said, from what we used to do from a computer and what I'm doing now, I realize you have to work with if you're an importer, you need to work with a big brand, and they need to give you some kind of an exclusivity to sell the product here. That way you're able to focus on it. Yeah.
Challenges?
Challenges za biashara bana, hakuna pesa, kuna capital.
Agora mtu anasemanga iko nasikia ni kukinyana tu. Kukangana. Sasa hiyo ni client 13173. Wewe kukangana. Usho umenibaya.
Inakwanga.
What have been the challenges?
Yeah. The challenges has been more of access to capital to expand. Tuseme kweli pesa.
Delays.
Yeah, importation pia inakuwa.
Suez Canal.
Yeah, shipping lines. Kama sasa tumekongwa na mambo, sijui ni COVID ilikuja, mameli zina cost 20 double the cost. Nilikuwa alipa kama 40 feet tulikuwa alipa $3,000. Sasa ni $10,000.
Wow.
Na bado wateja wanao kununua ile product na the same price. Manufacturer wamesema raw materials zimekuwa expensive. Kama hasa we can no longer sell Pago engineered timber. Manufacturer said that one we are not producing because it's expensive. So the costs keep going up. And in building, and Irene can say, it's not like computer business where tileo kumetokea iPhone 13, iPhone 12 inatoka kama makaratasi. The building materials price never go down. Ukisikia kitu imeenda chini ya building material, just know kuna ukora inaingia hapo ndani. Yeah.
It never goes down.
Yeah.
Okay. If it starts going up, it just
kama inaenda juu, kama ni chuma inaenda juu, ama these products ni ngumu kusikia ati in 2010 nilikuwa nikinunua this much na sasa hii 2020 imekuwa even cheaper. The building products always going up because the demand also, watu wanajenga sana. Yeah.
So you said one of the challenges that you mentioned is capital. Mobilizing capital. So how do you do it? How did you hack it? Because then you've not collapsed.
Sisi tuna depend na customers wetu kutrust sisi, wanatuwekea ka deposit, tunaleta mzigo. Kina pale kwa bank wanaitisha title deed mpaka hata sasa hiyo ni kahasla. Unatoa title wapi jamani?
Jindo hata title utatoka na
Yeah, we pull funds from maybe even friends, a family, and ukitaka hii floor maybe nakwambia ka kitu kidogo. And what I've learned now is when you work with a big corporation also, there's something called credit insurance. So when you qualify, you find your manufacturer can apply for credit insurance for you. What is credit insurance? Hii credit insurance ni unapewa deni, mzigo inakuja na deni, lakini iko na insurance. Ukitaka kulipa,
just in case uingie nyasi.
Ukipotea huko ingie mitini, ukidecide ama Kenya kukue na mavita hapa na pale, so the credit insurance kick in. So if you have a manufacturer there who can apply for you for the credit insurance, the better, because now that means you can get a container coming on credit, or you have to look, it's funny, money to pay the taxes at the port of Mombasa or whatever entry it is.
Oh, yeah. All right. Some of the products are coming up on your screen shortly by Floor Decor. You'll see some of the products on your screen. Mkeka ambao na mambo mengine mingi ambayo tunaona kwenye screen yako. Martin Msege ameingia. Msege anasema asalimi my good friends Irene and Amos, good to see them on the show. They are doing a good job. Asante sana. Thank you so much Mato. Wacha kuingia nyasi. I think that you need insurance. It is the appearance that you keep doing on the show. You need a tackle insurance. Amos, the policy framework in the construction industry. The government, of course, controls most of the policies, and some of the costs that come upon businesses courtesy of policies and policy instructions and laws that are put in government. Do you think the government has been helpful enough in ensuring that the construction industry is more fluid?
Yeah. It's been very helpful. But I also encourage for create, mjengo na imeandika watu wengi in this country. It's a big population of people working. Wako kwa mijengo inaandika a lot of our young men. I would encourage the government watufungulie mashule. Unajua sisi tukisoma ulikuwa unatoka high school unaambiwa wewe kasomee computer, utakuwa banker, utakuwa nini. I wish at that point ningemeona niende polytechnic kasomee flooring. Ningekuwa mtu wa kuweka floor. but mjengo as a professional imekuwa shied off. Inakaa hii ni kazi ya hustler.
Watu wa mjengo.
Mjengo inalipa. Kutoka hapo ukuwe fundi, ujue kupaint. Kule Marekani nilikuwa naona painter ama mtu ajenga barabara akona more income kuliko
to office.
So
dignity of work,
yes. So government should instead hizi ma university ma degree watu wamejaza ma degree huko. Tungekuwa na ma diploma ama hata certificate ya skill ambayo unafanyia.
Skill based.
Unaona, so tungekuwa na mashule mostly to encourage watu wakitoka shule waende wasomee hizi vitu za mijengo, because people are always kujenga na mjengo haitaisha. Be a floorman. So what I say, the government encourage kufungwa mashule mengi mashinani, watu wasomee hizo skills. Then watoe taxes kwa kitu yote ambayo inatumika tools. Naona tools za kufanya kazi, those handy tools, so electric tools, because mafundi wenye tumekuwa nao hawezangi ku afford tools za kazi. Unaona, naambia mtu abuy circular, so akienda kwa duka anapata inatoka 10 or 15,000. Utapata maybe ni taxes. If those tools are made cheaper and affordable all over, then we can have many people joining a skill and buying a tool. And I see, like when in the US I see tools like in Home Depot, they're very cheap. Unapata so ni kama 1,500. Hiyo so itaeneza mtu kwenda afanye kazi. Ajiandike, uko na tools zako za kazi. So kitu mahali unatokea na matools kama fundi. Hata customer anafurahia, unaona mtu anajielewa. So hizo tools ndio zinaweza kuwa, because ni tools of trade. Zitolewe taxes zikuwe very cheap, watu waweze kuzi afford, waweze kufanya kazi. Other than that, public education, awareness, inspect manyumba pia sana, and then planning. Mijengo sasa yenye tuko nao Kenya inafaa kuwa na a very good team of planning from the government. Those planners are able to see through the next 40 or 50 years. So we build na style ambayo iko na mpangilio. Ona kama Nairobi kuna sehemu fulani hizi ni ma industrial area. Kama sisi muangalia industrial area hapa Nairobi. Hiyo location haikuwa the perfect one. Na hata kama kuna industrial area utapata huko ni go down tu za vitu za imports. Nafaa kuwa na zone ambayo ni industrial area. Land ni cheap. Na hiyo zone pia stima iko very cheap. Sasa kama mimi nikifanya ile production yangu hizi vitu za concrete, inafaa kwenda kwa zone fulani ambayo government imedamecate. Alafu wagro wakulima wadogo kama sisi wa start ni
kulima wadogo kujenga
hiyo startup kama sisi wa produce wana to guide watolea hata kama ni taxes kwa machinery za kuanza hii production. Huku ukileta kama machine ka kuanza ni una gongo wa 16%. Unajua industry ndio zina employ watu wengi. So if those, like the way I'm saying with tools, the same thing should go to the machines. Hii machine inakuja kuproduce kitu fulani, wacha ikuje bila taxes, lakini kitu kikinye ina produce inakuwa taxed. Wana support na
tax the product, not the machines.
Yeah, tax the product, not the machine. Now if you tax the machine,
don't tax the product.
Tax the product. Ama the raw material, unaona kama hapo unapata nataka kuproduce kitu inaitwa composite decking. Composite decking ni import hizo sawdust na inaitwa pellets. So machine ya kutengeneza iko tax. Hiyo raw material pia unapata tax. Alafu kile unatoa kwa kitu inakuwa very expensive. So hutaweza compete na mtu wa kule China. The same product, same way. Si ati wanatengenezanga na sijui wametoka wapi. Same way inaweza kuproduce hapa ndio wanafanyia kule. Lakini wale unapata machine wenyewe wanajitengenezea na products wako nazo. So wakiallow hiyo import na mimi nimejitengenezea huko, hatuwezi compete head on. Yake itakuwa cheaper. Hii hapa Kenya, made in Kenya ni expensive. Itakuwa expensive tunataka kutengeneza profit kubwa. Ni vitu ambao umeenda through ndio upate the final price.
Okay. Alright. Serikali imesema inataka kujihusisha na ujenzi. Hata serikali nayo inataka kuwa mkulima mdogo kama wewe. Do you think the government should involve itself in now there's a program of affordable housing and all that? Do you think the government should involve itself or should keep a capacity to people to build?
They should provide a guideline and encourage the wakulima wadogo to be building those houses. The technology of building has really changed the way we do things. Like it's my own opinion. I would say if you're a cement company, manufacture cement, don't just manufacture cement and leave it like that. You need to manufacture cement that is ready to go. Unatuwekea cement, unatuwekea mchanga, unatuwekea chips. So mimi nikienda kwa duka na nunua hiyo bag ya ready mix cement for like 200 shillings. Mimi niko mix na maji na kujenga. Unaona? Itafanya cost ya kujenga iende. And like unaleta mchanga, unaleta mawe, unaleta kokoto, unanunua hiyo process ni expensive. Unafaa kwenda kwa hardware unanunua cement ambayo iko ready when kumix na maji unajenga. To encourage mambo ya kama mawe ya kujenga. Sisi mbona tunajenga na mawe za zitango aje hizi mawe tunafanya quarry. Tunaacha tumia environment. Quarry kuchimba mawe. We should encourage to have machineries kujenga mavitu kama blocks ready za concrete. So ukijenga hizo blocks ziko tu hapo una interlock. Unajenga haraka sana. I mean, what is the cost saving ya nyumba? Si ni foundation na kupandisha mawe. Na kuweka maybe roof. So mawe zinafaa kwa very cheap. Lakini tunajitengenezea na blocks tuache kwa haribu environment. Mchanga kuchimba kule kwa mariva sijui kitu hii mara watu wana demonstrate. Mtu ambaye anajenga cement tengeneza kitu yako ambayo iko ready. Una mix na maji. I know watasema kuna watu maybe kadhaa zitaenda watu matruck na
the cement that you can just mix without changarawe, without sand.
Yeah, this technology is only done here in Kenya. In 1960s, go to the rest of the world. Most countries are being American. Cement iko ready. Nataka kujenga siji post. Unakuja ndako hardware na mix na maji. Na unasonga. Unajua consequence ya sisi kujimix yanga cement kwa site. Hata upatangi ratio zile correct. Mafundi pale wana mix wanapotea. Sasa hauna strength ya concrete. Sasa nyumba inaanguka kwa sababu vitu kama hizo za kibuzi tu.
Wao ningekuwa nimepata niliona iliinua miguu kwa Kangemi.
Wao tungekuwa na product kama simiti imekuja kwa ready mix inafanya kazi ya kujenga iko haraka. So back to the question of affordable housing. Affordable housing is more of technology. What is affordable housing? What is the government doing? They are working with probably with the Chinese or other people. Wanaweka vitu zinaitwa formwork ni unakuja unafunga aluminium na inakuja na design ya nyumba, alafu kwa hiyo formwork unamwaga hiyo ready mix concrete, alafu nyumba inapanda within hours at a cheaper cost. Umeelewa? Affordable housing ni kujenga na the new technology, which pia sisi huku chini tunaweza tukiambiwa this is the route inaweza kuwa cheaper, but affordable housing ndakuaje? Affordable housing na cost of land hapa ni kama gold. Ndio kujenga nyumba uze 2 million. Shamba umenunua 100 million. Hiyo nyumba itauzika jamani.
Na mao umenunua thika pesa tena.
Yeah.
So it's a dream. Affordable housing is a far-fetched dream.
Affordable housing is it's very affordable because what we need to do is we push the people out of the city and then tuweke mikakati ya barabara ready.
Accessibility.
Yeah. Unaona kama hii barabara expressway tungekuwa tumeweka bridge ingekuwa ni kareli kanapita juu. Kanaenda mahali kanabeba watu wengi, si mtu kwa gari yake peke yake. Ready kwa hapo iko watu kama 200. Inawapeleka Limuru ama Ndeia huko. Mahali nyumba ziko cheap na wanaweza kuasset city vizuri. But then tutoe mambo ya city tunakuja kufanya nini? Tuteleke ma industries huko itakabisa.
Wewe mtu wa mkeka unatafuta nini town?
Sasa hata mshangaa na fanyanga nini huko. Sasa ndio vile mambo iko. Mimi watu wangejua mkeka wangu anaweza kujia huko nje ya town, but hakuna barabara kufika huko. Alafu bado kuna mentality ya lazima ukuje town. Wewe biashara iko online. Angalia kitu unataka, unafurahia, alafu unaangalia address, unaenda tu kwa nyao. Ukiona kujanga hata hapo town, wakujanga ati juu niko hapo ati kuna mtu alikuwa anatembea kwa street akaona akaingia.
Wakina.
Waliona mahali kwa internet, anakuja tu kuverify kama huko. Nakuja kuguza hiyo mkeka na kubagain alafu aende.
Ni imani pia kwa Wakenya ambayo iko chini.
Na maybe location akiambia ukija best restaurant hapo unapata si ni pale hivi anakuja. But kuna Google Maps. Kwa hiyo siku unafaa kufikiria location. Weka Google inakuleta mahali unaenda. Very easy.
Talking about Google ulipotea asubuhi. Glenda Otieno anasema tell us the best way to sell the new product B2B is basically to come up with the foundation cost comparison of a 3-bedroom bungalow of 120 square meters and a mansionette of 190 square meters. This helps most people who rely mostly on what's affordable. I don't know if you have any comments to make. I mean, I don't know. 1 or 2 square meters, mansionette, 3-bedroom.
In fact, hata wonda namtamjibu. Most houses, and by now tutafaa kuja, most houses the slab one around 90 to 100 square meter. Ndio pale chini tuweka sitting room, tuweka dining. utweka bedroom ka guest chini na choo na maybe ukuwe na balconies huko chini. Inakujanga between 80 to 90. So if you're going to use our product with that area, the slab will cost you about 250,000. While ungeenda the traditional way, it costs double, 500. And then you have to do it within a month, which means within the 1 month we have the 21 days of curing. Remember, the tumeongea mambo ya reinforced concrete. Reinforced concrete ukishashikisha hizo chuma ndani, unafaa kuzingoja 21 days zipate strength. So timeline, although nilinotice wa Kenya watambui time. Ukiambia mtu unaweza janga na 2 days na this cost, watambui time sana.
Lakini wa Kenya wanasema, hii imetengenezwa haraka bana. Wamezoea kuona nyumba ikikuja pole pole mpaka inamea nyasi kwanza kidogo.
Lakini ukiangalia mambo ya pesa, savings,
hapo ndio mtasikizana. Ndio anasikia. Lakini ungesema nitakujenga in 6 days.
So anyway, with our way of beam to beam flooring, you save a lot of time. You can build within 3 or 4 days, and the cost is almost 50% cheaper.
Wow.
One thing that our audience need to know, we are almost there. My machinery is coming by end of the month or end of the year, and then I'll start producing these.
I think you can bring up the picture of the beam to beam on the screen, Douglas. That is what they were laying on the ground.
Yeah.
You know, ambao umeikalia mahali kidogo.
Cotton soil. So we're going to produce. If we're producing many people, then the cost goes down. Now we say competition is good. It makes people think. You know, you think and you're always very innovative. So the cost will go down. The same thing also na mambo ya kujenga fence. You know, we used to kujenga fence, unajema street footing mtaro. Utamatisha mawe, unaweka column za chuma. You don't need to do all that because the industry that we are in, the precast, we already manufacturing this stuff somewhere in a factory. All you need is to come and assemble. You can build a fence within 2-3 days, a very strong one, beautiful. Yeah.
Okay. Haya. There's a beam to beam is on your screen. I'm seeing Amos laying blocks. Okay. Haya. So wewe nini unashindanganga na mawe huko? Wewe ni mtu wa mjengo? Ama nikupenda kazi yako?
You know, entrepreneurship, you need to have passion.
Yes.
Kwa entrepreneur, you need to be the number one of whatever you do. Wewe ndio mtu kwa site hivi tunaweka unajua. Customer akija aliuliza swali unaelewa. You need to be your number one marketer also. Company yako wewe ndio the number one marketer pale. Wewe ni manager wa marketing. So you have to talk to the audience, to your people. So I love what you see on the beam to beam. I also do flooring now. Mafundi wangu na wafunza kazi.
Wewe ni fundi nambari 1.
Mimi fundi nambari 1. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So how is the absorption of the technology beam to beam so far? Kenyans are usually very pessimistic about new technology.
Kenya kabla chukue technology boss. Unaona hata Uber ilikaa hapa wanaipiga. Kitu hapa. Kitu kuchukua kazi.
Tunaita gari na simu. Hiyo ni Illuminati.
So with technology, new things, technology is supposed to bring down the cost. It's not supposed to be expensive. It's supposed to bring down the cost from what people know, from the traditional. The uptake of new things here in Kenya is, they take it with a pinch of salt. First of all, I work with engineers. Engineer wetu wameenda shule wamesoma. Now, I find them, if they don't understand, I don't know if it's our education system, which was very theoretical. They didn't go out there. So napata engineer, mwambia mambo ya beam to beam, mweleza ni pre-stressed concrete, and I'm sure kwa syllabus alisomea hiyo kitu. Lakini hako na opportunity ya kuifanya physically. Practically kwenda angalie. So kwa sababu helewi, anaambia customer hiyo kitu bana, kitu inaanguka hiyo. Let's do the way we do.
Wanye ni kitu mmezoea.
Sasa
tuacha kierere.
Sasa ma engineer na encourage kuna wana adapt. Wenye wajui wanakuwa hawataki. But these things have been there for many years. Many years. Like I saw another joke online, nikaangalia nikacheck. They're saying the practicality of something is happening outside Nairobi University. Hiyo barabara mchina. Watu ma student watoka kwa classroom waenda wakapola hiyo vitu. Which I saw it's something very interesting. Then the customers, you know, the scenario ya mijengo huku is an architect who draw. Bwana Martin yuko online hapa. Martin Msaga is my friend, he knows. So you draw that house and then the structural engineer anakuja na chora the mambo ya vile chuma zitashikanishwa. Na kuna mtu mwingine anaitanga accountant hapo kando anaitwa QS. QS ni usianze kujenga blindly. QS anaangalia hiyo drawing anakuambia hii kitu itakuwa this much. So I work with those 3 professionals. Sana. But tunapata hapa Kenya pia tunajenga ni kama tutaki kutambua watu. Kuna mtu wanaomba na drawings huko kwa streets ama wanabuy pale Kimathi Street. Ama wana download kwa Google. Alafu ndio unapata manyumba huko Kenya zimejengwa design moja. Sababu uliambiwa blueprint ya architecture drawing this much. Kuna Irene alijenga, naambia Irene unisaidie na drawing yako. So those are some of the things that I see kwa mjengo. And then sasa mafundi foreman napata maybe fundi pia elewi hii maneno na anataka kubenefit kutoka kwa customer. So what I do is I create a lot of content online to reach the customer mwenye anajenga. Akishaona anamuita engineer, na hiki tu naona anafuata hiyo content, wanasoma. Siku hizi Google has it's a university, watu wanasoma, wanaangalia, wanaona hiki tu ina make sense. So that is how I try to reach people through content creation online. And practicability, ukiona unakuja nakwambia kuna hii project njoo uone. Okay. I've actually built my house like that. So my house is the number 1 showroom. Kwani nitajanga kitu ambayo itaniangukia. Yeah. I tell people, come, look, have a look. This is it. Yeah.
It's all built. This mouse. All right. Back to you, Irene. Okay, you can keep back. We can pick on the policy issue. Do you think there's any policy changes that should be done around construction industry?
Yeah, we do need a lot of trade incentives, like Amos mentioned. And this can be brought by, of course, the government is the one that makes these policies. So they need to do better. The low-cost housing that they want to get, I would call them low-cost more than affordable, because, affordability is very relative. Yeah, so why can't SMEs be involved in doing that? Why should it be the government doing this business? Because what happens is, when the government wants to work out some of these things, and then they do not have even the right time, the capacity to deal with it, it means that money will be lost somewhere. But if SMEs, we are empowered and given the opportunity to handle some of these projects, they will be completed on time, first and foremost. So there will be no delays, and at the same time, it will uplift more people. So we need to be involved, not just seeing things happening that we are not involved in. Again, on the tax issue, you find that the tax rebates and incentives that are there sometimes are for larger corporations who are already making a lot of money. So it would be fair to see how SMEs can also benefit. If you're bringing in a machine like the kind of investment that Amos is doing, how can he be supported to know that there should even be like a time frame where he's not even expected to pay any taxes, maybe for 3 years or 2 years as his product peaks in the market, and then he can start now competing, because that's also an advantage in itself, because he'll be able to employ more people. So the government shouldn't look at it in terms of, if we are not charging him taxes, then we are losing money. In fact, they are better off having him grow,
being productive,
being more productive, employing more people. I'm giving an example with Amos because his machine is coming, and having a bigger industry that has more people, and then there's sustainability. You don't need to eat everything today. The idea that when you bring this machine, I will tax you so much that I make the money today and then I'm not able to continue. You're not able to continue with the business. So I feel that really needs to happen. I know various bodies are working towards just looking at how SMEs can benefit from better policies that enable us to do business, and the government must provide that conducive environment. Entrepreneurs are there, but the policies sometimes are not very supportive.
All right. So manufacturing, because most of you guys are now talking about, in construction industry, talking about venturing into manufacturing. Manufacturing has become a campaign tool where every other person tomorrow, when Amos is running for president, will be telling us, first pillar, manufacturing. We keep talking about it, but there seems to be no step. Like what is raising also the concern is, in other countries you find the industrial parks where tariffs are cheaper, whether it's about power, it's about rent, whatever it is, and leases, it's cheaper. I mean, there's more incentive to ensure that people are more productive in manufacturing. Even as you guys are daring the almost impossible to run the risky path of getting into manufacturing, do you think it's something that's viable in the country as it is?
Yeah, it's something that's viable, but like we are saying, a lot still needs to change. You will be surprised, by the way, like the industry area he's talking about. In developed countries, those areas are not even within anywhere close to the CBD, but the accessibility is so good that you can get there, get whatever it is that you want, purchase and live. And there's infrastructure, first and foremost, is what we need here, because if you go and set up a factory somewhere right now, you need to first build a road, because the road probably you'll be 10 kilometers away from the main road. So it becomes your responsibility to see how to go about that. Why should that be our responsibility? So it's very viable. We still have a lot that we can do. We have energetic people that are very innovative in this country. But yeah, the support really must come up so that we are able to do proper manufacturing and to even set up factories. You don't have to have your factory where everyone else is. If we have and low power also, like now you find manufacturing, the bills are too high. So what happens in that case is you can make a very good product here locally, but you can't compete with an imported product. And that's happening a lot. So where you will see someone trying to start something, manufacture it, and then shortly thereafter you hear now they are importing the same product they were supposed to be manufacturing, and you ask what happened, and they give you the cost. They say, for example, to make this one, let's give an example of Kawambao, to make this 10 square meters locally, I need maybe my costs are coming to 1,600. When I import, my costs are coming to 1,200. So which is easier? Is it me to manufacture or for me to import? So you find that there's that big concern now, because there are also no policies that will protect really if you're manufacturing this product, that will say this other product, a similar product, cannot come into the market. Although that may now be maybe too invasive to the consumer, but at the same time, it shouldn't be that an imported product is still cheaper than a locally manufactured product. But if you look at the cost of the inputs, that's where we are going wrong.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Any policies that you think you would want to see in place?
Yeah,
in
first
regards
number
to
one is
manufacturing?
definitely a tax incentive for SMEs. We have zero tax incentives. You pay the same, you're taxed the same as the bigger corporations. So I think we'd start from there. Number two is proper training institutions. Like whenever you bring in a new machine here, it's also your responsibility now to look for the technicians or the plant operators. So again, you have a double cost of employing and at the same time training. So we need institutions that come up where you can go now and get the right technical support that you need, which we really don't have. So the training cost, if you look at it in terms of SMEs, they are still quite high. We've talked about power issues. In most countries, you find that by the time you start manufacturing, you have some period, like 6 months or a year, where your costs are really subsidized for you. Nothing is subsidized for SMEs, but probably if you come in and you're maybe a multinational, they are able to get even better incentives than our very own local companies. So I feel that really, those are kind of policies that I would like to see implemented so that more people can be able to venture into these industries, and then we are better able to create employment. So many people are jobless because sometimes people are saying, I don't want to go into manufacturing. I'll spend all my money there and probably I'll not even be able to be competitive when you look at the product I want to manufacture versus an imported product. So these are areas that really must be looked into and changed. And also instead of giving, like I see sometimes people just doing the tender business.
What's wrong with tender business?
It's not that it's wrong, but sometimes because, the process of getting this tender sometimes is completely flawed. What also can happen is that when the government wants to embark on this kind of project, let's say they have a hospital they are building, they already know Amos has the floor that it's supposed to be used for hospitals. So why they they just tell him this is the BQ. Why are they looking for anyone who doesn't even know how these floors work, which is the right flooring, whether, you know, all these issues. So somebody who is not qualified ends up getting probably some of this project, while the qualified people, you are left with nothing. Yeah, so the procurement also of this projects need to be looked into.
Wachana tenda tafadhali. Unajua Kenya hakuna kazi nyingine ya kufanya. Ile kazi mbaki Kenya ni tenda. Aya, kabla sijarudi kwako Amos, tuambie mambo ya manufacturing since you're also getting into it. There's a question for Irene here from where has it gone to? Tiana, I'm trying to look for his comment here. Anyway, Daniel Newton just gave a great show. Salimia Roofing Queen and Amos sana. Mnasalimiwa sana. Daniel Newton. I was looking for some question from there's a question from Cleveland. Tiana for Irene.
Ask Irene to comment about the effect of using wet timber on final appearance of this modern roof covering.
Of using?
Ongea mambo ya wet timber na light gauge steel. Unajua wet timber pale because tunabai timber haijakauka.
That timber, even it will make sure, I mean, it makes your house not, first, it's not neat. Number two, it's not even safe to use. So if you have to use timber, the timber must be well cured, and at the same time it should be treated. But now we have the light gauge steel that is even more environment friendly, of course, and easier to install, because like Amos was saying about products that can that have a reduced time of application, because there's a value add in the sense that the members are done at the factory. So all you do is once the light gauge gets to your site, you just place it, unlike the timber where you have to cut off pieces and all this, and it's not even environment friendly. So I would propose that we start now changing our mindset to go to light gauge. And it's interesting because people think that the light gauge is way more expensive compared to timber. But the reason is because of the timber they are looking at. If the timber is not treated, it's not properly cured, then what happens is that it may look like it's cheap. But if you go for the proper treated timber and cured, and you compare like a square meter, if it's 2,200, you'll find that sometimes even the timber, especially now that we had the ban, the logging ban. So what happens is that the timber would actually be, proper timber would even be more expensive. And then there's theft. I've had a lot of clients who have really suffered because in some areas when you go to buy the timber, what you ask for is not the square meters or the feet, the running feet in total is not what you receive. This will not happen when you and it happens like it's a game, because when you are there when you measured, it looked like it was okay, only to get to site and find that it was actually, you are missing almost 200 feet running feet, or even 3,000 sometimes, depending on the size of the project. So I would go with the light gauge anytime.
Alright. Sasa hizo nini zilienda wapi? Yenye ilikuwa kwa timbo ukipima. Where did they go to?
And it's like that thing for, you know, how you're told multiply your money and it multiplies 1 minute and the next minute you have lost all of it. It's like that kind of a game that happens with timber. It's very
on manufacturing, Amos.
Yes.
Now you're venturing into manufacturing. From the comments that I'm getting from you guys is that you already feel that the industry is not leveled properly for your ventures, especially manufacturing in Kenya. Even the government-run projects are collapsing. The sugar industries are dead. Webuye pan paper are dead. What else has died? Everything that has been manufacturing anything in this country is dead. From your perspective, or from the comments, general comments, is that the ground is not well leveled yet for people to invest money. It's a risky venture to get into manufacturing. What's your feeling? Why do you want to take that risk? What are your buffers?
It's just an entrepreneur. You just keep going. You don't focus more on it. But why most industries here in Kenya feel like maybe the sugar industry is because more of the cheap imports, the cartels, and the people who empowered in those industries, mostly if they are government, ni easy to people go there to just benefit. Well, for me now is more of I'm just trying to change the way people do things, because I feel like we build in a type of way of too much. We are like 40 years behind. And you can see what the Chinese are doing here. It's not like the Chinese are good. It's because the Chinese, they wanatumia technology. You can see now how they're building our roads. You don't find so many people. They have all the machineries and they embrace the tech on the way they build their stuff. So because I don't know why us Kenyans, maybe ni machineries ziko pesa mingi. You know, when the Kenyan contractor used to like build roads, then until now the Chinese came and took over. I believe ni kama hatuna equipments. Kama let me give you a scenario now here. You see the Chinese who are doing this Mombasa Road Express between university up to Mpale James Gishuru. Kuna Mkenya hapa ameambiwa atoe ma services hizo ma pipes na nini. Unapata hana hizo my equipment pia. So services angetoa kitamu kama pale just pale Njuguna hapo. Angetoa ametoanisha hizo vitu, amechukua a long time. Ingekuwa ni Mchina amepatiwa, angekuwa ametoa. So I feel more like the Chinese work on the right equipment for the job. Like I said, we need equipment, tools to be low down in cost and to be very much available to everyone. But without equipments, we use a lot of human labor, and human labor, you know, human resource. It's very hard to manage, take care about. So for me with the manufacturing, I want us to build cheaply, quicker, without, like nakwambia slab, 100 square meter this much. No hidden charges. If you build a traditional way, utaambia mbao itoshi. Maybe mbao vile nimesikia Irina akisema wana cheza nayo. Chuma inakuja less. Simiti wanaipa kwa site.
Chuma pia inakuja less.
Chuma inakuja less, miti hujui ma ratio. Kama siku ya koroga mtu koroga hapo unapata mchanga imeisha. Kimbieni. Well, you need to build with ready mixed concrete. Company kama Sidai, kina Rombas, Alliance Concrete. Unanunua tu kokoto iko ready na kuja na mwagwa na story inaisha. You see? So kwa mijengo kuna preference mingi sana na kuna wizi sana kwa mijengo. But if things are built off-site to your customized needs and brought to your site only to assemble, the cost of doing it or constructing will be very low. And especially to our brothers and sisters abroad, watu wa majuu. Wanatuma pesa wajengewa hapa.
Unaonyeshwa nyumba ya jirani. The house is coming up well. Kumbe ni sinema.
So ukipata mtu wa majuu anataka kujenga na anajua anaenda kule Floor Decor anunue beam to beam flooring. Anunue blocks iko ready. BQ inasema hapa nahitaji block 200. Hakuna mahali utaambia block haitoshi. Beam to beam inakuja inaekelewa. Structure ya nyumba inaisha. After that una engage watu wa paint. Watu wa mkeka ambao wanakuja wanaweka floor. Plumber anaweka pipe zake. It's a very simple process. I can tell you for a fact, if you're using our system beam to beam, you can build a house, a regular house, 2-story house, within maximum 50 days.
50 days?
50 days.
Wow.
The story measure. Na cost yako, iko by the book. Haina ati mahali unapotea, iko by the book. Na haina material preference. Kabisa.
Okay. So let me ask you, this beam to beam. So the beams are there and then you place blocks. So what happens?
Yeah, the beams are the members. Like I'll give this typically to do a slab. It's like creating a bridge. So those members, the beams, they go from one beam to the other beam. So ukijenga nyumba yako, kipanda mawe, ukifika mahali wanaita lintel, unaweka kitu inaitwa ring beam. Beam tu ya chuma. And then as we bring you the product, inakuja kukalia juu. Unasema within minutes, you don't need qualified fundis, you just need some skilled laborers. Wale watu wa mjei, wale wa mkono. Wako na karatasi wanafuata hii beam ina assemblewa wapi. Wanaekelea. So, and then these things are manufactured off-site. So we've taken care of all the necessity. Zimefanya 28-day cube test, ziko approved. Na unajua by the way ile beam ukirelease ile wire na hiyo concrete haiko na hiyo strength, wire inakuja kama imepita. So siwezi kuletea kitu ambayo ni mbaya. Then you build very quick. Very quick. Yes.
Yeah. Irene, mwambiwa na kale baba pima running feet hapo Syokimau utaona moto. Aya, Kanji John, our good business consultant here. Kanji Yatama, good morning team. Good comments on targeted education diplomas and certificates. We suffer from a half-baked labor market. How can practitioners yourselves collaborate with education institutions to develop the latest and futuristic programs for young people? I'll start with you, Irene, with that.
Maybe with partnering with programs like the TVET programs that are now, the technical vocational system that is coming up now, and I think the government is trying really to push that. And what we've done, like at Rexy Roofing, is we get involved in that. For example, we go there. Where they're running through because they use different partners to run these programs. So we also go there and then we'll pick technicians. So for example, somebody is interested in, let's say, carpentry or roofing works. So we pick them and then we train them, and also we support them through giving them now employment, and that I've seen is working. Sometimes we'll just also go and offer our training and discuss about new innovative roofing solutions that are coming in, or even waterproofing, equip them with the skill on how to do the work. And some of it also, in fact, besides even the technical skill, we also offer the training on soft skills, communication. Sometimes people will say, oh, these technicians don't know how to communicate, which is true. Sometimes because, they are not used to dealing directly, let's say, with customers. So we also give the soft skills to upcoming technicians. And so through this kind of programs, it's helping. We've also done presentations like at Technical University of Kenya, because of course they are learning in the school, mainly it's theory. So we go in and we offer now the missing gap, which is the practical bit of how to do the actual work. We've also done it with Kenyatta University, so we are doing it. And many of us can continue with this work because it's a good job to make sure that now by the time these people graduate, then from these institutions, then they already know what product they are coming to find. Because you can imagine we are having, let's say, shingles, and someone, when they are learning about roofing, they are only maybe talking about iron sheets. So when they come out, the technology to fix is completely different. Yeah, so we want to train at that level so that by the time they're coming out, they can say, yeah, we are able to do this. Because at the end of the day, what do we need? It is people to be able to rise and to earn, because growing economically is not about just a small percentage of people. The more we can bring in, then the better. And if technicians can also learn this trade, and the good thing is that they are also coming from very different counties. So what happens is, then you're not afraid to take jobs anywhere, because you will know that for clients that say, okay, I just want the supply. Can you recommend an installer? So you have an installer in Bungoma, in maybe Nakuru, everywhere. They will be there because you have gone to these institutions and you have trained, and then you pick from there. So this is part of what we are doing. The other method that Amos talked about is, of course, YouTube. If we upload videos there of installation, I think we did something last time where we showed how the waterproofing, the torching is done. And so we are trying to do all these things. We have also something called the Rexy 101, where we invite technicians to come to our showroom here at Kilimani, and then we offer half-day training also to them. Yeah.
Random technicians.
Yeah, we just invite, if you're a technician, you're interested in getting an extra skill, you can come during the Rexy 101. So normally we take about 15 people for every program, and they come and they train. And after they finish the theory part, then we also take them to the sites to see what's happening, or we will give them also video training, and they graduate and even get certificates for that.
I also want to come and graduate. What are your thoughts on that? Amos?
I'll be on the same line. I'll encourage more of our architects, the engineers, I know the syllabus could be a little bit behind what you're taught at school. They've not improvised or done the uptake of the new technology that we have. Maybe syllabus or two the old ways.
Yeah.
But once you graduate, fellas, when you go out there, go to the companies that sell some modern tech that you see. Go to their showrooms. Learn, incorporate that in your way of the way you do it. You know, the way in your business. Like, kama unachora nyumba, you don't just chora nyumba hapo alafu naandika ati flooring ati ceramic tile. You have to consider the weather in that area. So encourage your customers, because more customers, ukimchorea nyumba, when unamguide, be like a design and build. You can design and also build, or you can guide them. So uchore nyumba alafu wachilie. This is the attitude that I see.
Si lazima uandike kila kitu.
Wanakoranga alafu wanaachilia. You guide the customers. Be part of coming to learn. Go to these expos. Travel the world. Architects, tell me uko nje angalia watu wengine wanajenga aje. Come here and encourage the same way. We're engineer. Travel the world. Get to learn a lot of stuff. And also for employment of creation of employment, guys. Remember I said Mijengo employs a lot of people. You're out there. Get involved in mambo za Mijengo. Start learning stuff on YouTube. YouTube it's a great teacher. Start learning stuff. Go to school. Learn more about it. Enhance your skill more by researching more online. And at Floor Decor, we are always we don't handle installation ourselves, but we work with people we call accredited installers. These are people that come to us. We train them on how to do the job. They learn and they join us. And I mean, Floor Decor have presence all over the country. So if you're in Eldoret, enda pale Social Street, karibu na Ego Hardware, visit, see the products there. In Kericho, you can go to Kisumu, Amofike, Kisii, Bomet, all these places, Nakuru, Nairobi here, all over the country. Even Watu Kampala, we have one small place there also. So you're interested about some of our products, visit the showrooms. We have very great team there. You want to learn how to install, you can be connected to some of the installers. Training yetu ni live kwa site. Unalania kwa site and you become great. Yes.
Kazi kwa mikono.
Kazi kwa mkono.
Hazungumzia pia kuhusu counterfeit products that come into the country.
Yes.
How disastrous is it? Do we have a lot of counterfeit products, first of all, coming in the country? Nasikianga ukienda chemist naambia kuna ingine inaitwa generics, original.
The government in around 2015, they introduced a program called PVOC. It's a pre-verification conformity where they verify if you're an importer and you bring in something to the country, it has to go through some inspectors, big bodies like STS, Bureau of Auditors. They are mandated by the government to inspect. Ni kama vile unaleta gari kutoka Japan. Hiyo gari kutoka Japan kabla ikuja hapa Kenya na kuwa inspected. So the government introduced something called PVOC. And to be honest, it has worked because the counterfeit that were there before has really come down. Baka unaona masimu na nini. But still, vitu zinaingia kwa the porous borders. Vitu zinapita huko Kismayo, zinapita pande Uganda. But such a program, it's a great way of trying to protect the consumer here. But then again, the consumer also contribute to this. They bargain too much. In the process.
Hiyo kwa katiba bwana.
Hiyo kubargain hiyo mimi.
It's in the constitution.
Hakuna vile utanunua floor inatoka 2000 ukiangalia 3-4 shops bei ni 4000. Alafu neno unapata kuna mali unauza unatoa 100. Kwani huyo mtu anatengenezea
na karanga mwenyewe mali.
Karanga mwenyewe. So the counterfeit are there, especially kwa Mijengo. A lot of locks. Unapata vitu yani tu sio quality. So we encourage our customers more to do their own research, to go online, research more, get to know. Usitume fundi akakununulia kitu. Fundi ataenda broke. Na hana interest zako, yako na interest ya pesa. Jienda mahali fulani uniletee sijui nini, ananunua ile cheapest style. Ile slipper anaweka kwa bafu. Uanguke. Unaona? So lazima work na watu trustworthy sana, because vitu za Mijengo mingi sana huwa ni customer mwenyewe anataka kitu yekwe mbaya kwa sababu ni nyumba yake, lakini ule fundi contractor hapo ana play a bigger role to buy a cheap product, tumaliza the house yaondoke. Kiingia kwa hiyo nyumba upate lock zifunguki, unfortunate
mambo yako
contract alienda.
Haya, pale kwa screen umeona hii inaitwa waterproofing. I didn't know kuna mahali inachomwa, kuna moto, inaitwa torching as waterproofing membranes from Rex Roofing. So you see in a video, demo video there on site. That is a waterproofing solutions, waterproofing membrane from Rex Roofing. Haya, issues on counterfeit. What has been your struggle with it? And what do you think should be done?
Okay, so they are there, yes. And for us with the roof, why I think roofing is because it's something you can see from outside the building. So you don't even have to go inside, and you'll see there are a number of estates when you are walking around, and you will see tiles. Again, these are stone coated tiles mainly that are fading, granules have fallen off. And this is becoming, this is because when the products arrived here, they were not maybe inspected. I don't know how they got in, if they were not inspected, or I can't tell how they are right, because like Amos has rightly said, there are procedures on how products should get into the country. They have to be inspected. They need a certificate of conformity before they can get here. But sometimes I think, like with every other system, probably there are some people who are able to beat that system and bring in this kind of products, which, and I like to say, the only problem with the counterfeit is not just that they are like, first they have health implications when it comes, let's say like the roof. You may be bringing in a product here which is asbestos, and it's known to cause cancers. So because you don't know what they are putting on these things that are coming off. So besides just also loss of revenue for the government, because I can tell you for sure, if these products are coming in, chances are even the duties, they are not paying the right duties. Maybe they even describe them as something else than what they really are. So we have loss of revenue, we have health implications on people depending on what products that are coming in. And then number 3, it's also wrong because some of them will come in as these particular brand names, therefore diluting the power of a particular brand. Because you see, if you look at tiles, let's say they're called Rexy tiles, and somebody else goes and makes their own, but they are counterfeit, it means that we are losing revenue. If they fade, it would mean that it will be an issue for us. How do we work around this? Like Amos has said, sometimes we are just the client must do their own due diligence. It's very easy to listen to rumors from everyone. I know where you will get the right things, I know where you'll do this, but then you even don't get any documentation as the end user. It is your project. You have to do your due diligence about the companies that you want to deal in. You can't trust a competitor to be the one also telling you about the competition. Like if I'm in competition with Amos, I'm not the right person to talk about his product because I don't know. Most of the time, we still suffer in most other countries. I mean, developed countries, that is, because he said we travel and you travel and you see innovation and you see how even competitors interact with each other. The interactions are very friendly and they are very good, and they are even able. That's how they are able even to get good policies that help them. But here I see it's mostly the opposite. If you're the competitor, then what I'm trying to do to your business is to find people that can destroy your business, which is very wrong. I know we have scarce resources in Kenya, but it's still the wrong way to go about it. So as a client, do your own due diligence. Ask for paperwork. Visit, if you are able, come to these companies. I hear there are people that sell products, but in some, like tiles, these tiles, but in a hidden room somewhere. Why are they hiding? And they have no online presence. So it's just, I don't know, phone calls, and then you agree with them, and then you pay them through other people. Why would you as a client be doing this kind of a thing? Cheap is expensive, because I've also had projects whereby they bought the counterfeited things, and then after a few months they were fading, and then now they came to us telling us, remove this, let's now start negotiating with the right thing. So you've suffered twice. And so we have to, one of the ways to stop the counterfeiting is people to stop supporting things that they can tell, that you can tell something when it's sketchy, that this is a sketchy deal I'm going to get into. Of course, the issues of borders and importation process, that mainly it's up to the government to see how they can do it to enforce that substandard goods are also not getting into the country. Clients have to be, remember in our first discussion here, and Tyro, the architect, we had him, we were talking about costing. Sometimes building is not cheap, really. Like if you're building your house or a project, it's not the cheapest thing you can undertake. So it's better to count the cost in the beginning, because also what ends up happening is you did not do your costings right. Now you are the roof. And I've told you, the quotation for the roof is, let's say, 1.6 million. And some fake person is telling you, hii pia naweza nikakuzia, but with half the price. So you're likely now to go there and buy the counterfeit things, but it's mainly because your calculations were off. But you see, from the beginning, if all this were considered in the BQ, then you would have no reason to start trying to look for the shortcuts.
Okay. All right. Any other comments that you wish to make, Mr. Amos?
No, I'm more of Irene comment is perfect. That's the same thing I would have shared. Yeah.
All right. As we are towards closing the supermarket, do you still have any comments you wish to make?
Just to encourage really the consumers, and to encourage anyone also who is interested in learning a skill, be it in flooring or be it in roofing, that our doors are always open. We are ready to do both the training. We are ready also when we have projects and we can use your resources, we are ready to use them. So don't let people not be shy, be proactive and ask for this. If you are a technician somewhere, be proactive and ask what you can do. And if you're given an opportunity to go to a site, be on time. Sometimes you will try to assist somebody, and the first day that they are arriving on site, they will come, instead of arriving, let's say at 8, they will show up at 10. You see, already that shows a very negative
work ethic.
Yeah, work ethic. So the work is there, but it's work, really. That's why it's called work. It's a job you need to do. Then there are some sacrifices you have to make. To the consumers, we are sharing a lot of information. Part of this show, by the way, why we are sponsoring it as Rexy Roofing, it's because we also want to go beyond just impacting ourselves, but also to have an impact on others and to be out there so that we can communicate, and these conversations on entrepreneurship have as many more people as possible join this this line, so that we can have, reduce poverty in the country. So really, people have a lot that they can take advantage of. The information we are sharing, we are available. Our locations are always shared there, so that we can be able to work together and to grow together. I think if change has to come, it will come from us.
There are also two common things in the business in the business environment in Kenya. One of them, they have become like churches. In churches, I was a pastor someday, I was a bishop. So when you open a church, unakuja labda una kapasta kako kadogo kanakuanga hapo, ndio zile huko, yeye ndiye anaanza kuimbisha watu na kufanya maombi asubuhi, inaitwanga intercession. So kidogo pastor anakaanga mpaka anaona hata anaweza kuwa bishop. Anaenda anafungua ingine hapo, anaitwa Amos and Irene Ministries. Breathing fire. Now, that's the first one. Businesses, people work together. Like I would come work with you, Amos, we're doing mukeka, then tomorrow I think I'm shopper. Like, I've known where you're getting the mukekas from. What you do, I've known your clients. I also start selling mukeka. Enda pale nafungua yako na kwangu Ojiji Road. Yangu nafungua hapo Waiyekwe kwa kona Parklands. Haya, hiyo ni ya kwanza. Ya pili ni kushindana. If I have an opportunity to speak about your product, I would rather speak negatively than speak positively about someone's product. And the internet has really enabled that anybody can show up on the internet and do brand mudslinging and do brand destruction very common in Kenya right now. It's not so new to find someone who's woken up in the morning and starts talking about BitTalk and saying, oh, kwanza wananiangalianga sana, wanasema hata hiyo studios junior nani nini ilifanyika mambo kama hiyo. You know, it's very common because now our space where people can be anything. Instead of entrepreneurs building their brands, building each other and saying you're supporting each other, you're selling a cake. And I mean, this is a good example of how businesses should work. You guys are in the same industry, construction industry, but you're sitting at the same table and you're speaking well of your products. You're doing flooring, she's doing roofing, and you guys are not fighting here, unless you fight when you leave this place. I mean, there's complementary work. So there are things that are happening. Two is that somehow every Kenyan, tomorrow, like the guy who was doing the waterproofing, how you want. Now tomorrow he goes and opens his company. Now I can waterproof because he's given an opportunity. Second one is someone who just decides we need to kill these brands. What's going on in this country? I'll start with you, Amos.
Well, we lack ideas.
Can we all do business? And is there a scarcity of resources?
Well, we can all do business, but we lack ideas, and we are a copy and paste nation.
Okay.
We just copy and just go and paste. And then when we copy and paste, let's say I start selling roofing just like Irene.
Yeah.
Instead of focusing my energy on my product, I focus my energy on Irene. So the negativity starts there. And then there's something that we talk about. It's called race to the bottom. What is race to the bottom? Race to the bottom is where you start competing on the price. Who's going to sell it cheaper? Who's going to race down? Without factoring the cost of your running your business, your Irene roof yake ni how much? 200 shillings.
Naweza kupea na 100.
Ndakuzia na 100.
Yeah.
So when that race to the bottom starts, what's crops in? Is either the counterfeit, or is either the other product is not paying taxes at the port of entry. See? So there's someone who's going to be a loser in between that kind of a thing. So it's mostly the consumer who's going to be the loser. And then you can, when you start racing to the bottom, how long can you do that? If your business is it's based on the copy and paste, you just see if you can be the same. It's not gonna last long. So what I focus on in a competitive world, you just sell your product. Let people know what you're selling. Focus more on the product, the product awareness, and also how you interact with the customers. As for the social media, where the free speech is there, it's a free world. Where there are people who take the social media way to, come damage another brand reputation when they're coming from the competition side. It's I don't know how to describe that, because it's more of like if somebody says something and you're a big brand, their word is the truth. So it's more of a competitive world where people now start maligning in others for issues that are not there. But this is Kenya for you. Kenyans don't support their own. You'll never see a windy business out there being punished by other, but a small medium enterprise by a fellow Kenyan becomes a big thorn. I don't know whether if that's the way we are, I don't know, but that is how the environment out here is. It's
chawi aishindwe katika jina la Yesu.
It's like those days when the dark days when if you didn't like, or you had an argument with someone, or there was a reason you didn't like them, all you had to do was maybe shout huyu ni mwizi, and people would come banning them. Now people are not banning people now on the streets. So now it has changed. Or people would even go and ban. I used to hear stories of somebody going to touch another person's business. But now we are banning it online.
Virtually.
Yes. Yeah. So
and it's more destructive because the data never leaves.
And then it's also bad because if you look at Google and these other social, they are good platforms and they give visibility to businesses. But at the same time, how their algorithms work is that for one negative review, whether it is genuine, because they don't ascertain. I have somebody who comes and writes something with a fake name, and just because, maybe they are a competitor or you don't know who they are. And for one negative review, whether this person actually visited your business or they did not visit, or they did and they are not right to say what they are saying, because there's maybe things they needed to do that they did not do, or whatever reason. So one negative one, you need 40 positive ones to balance that equation. What is that? To me, it's really like a sign of madness that you've worked so hard for 10 years running and building a brand, and then so all a competitor or somebody who wants to run you out of the business they need to do is to start tarnishing your name online. It's ridiculous if you ask me. Unfortunately, these are also the same platforms that we are using for communication. So I think I can say they are cutting both ways. Yeah, but most important is that we stop this crab mentality. That if I think you are rising, what I want to do is to pull you down so that you fall. It's not a problem. We can all rise. Yeah, the idea is not to have 1% that is rich and doing well. I always say, it doesn't matter how rich you are. If the people surrounding you are not doing well, you will still continue to suffer. It means instead of maybe one person to open your gate, you might need now 50 or an army. So we are really into the idea of building and uplifting each other. We shouldn't let our focus be how fast can I bring this company down. And like Amos has said, mainly it's an African problem we have. Sometimes I like to think well and say it's the scarcity mentality, because we've also come from a place with very little. I don't know whether that has a lot to do with it. Is it jealousy? I can't really tell. But I feel that because these are behavior, and behavior can be changed. If you can learn a behavior, you can also unlearn it. So I think as Kenyans, we can work on that. Yeah.
Okay, Amos.
Yeah, one thing I would also say is visibility attract envy. So if you're visible, the envy will show up. If you're a winner, be ready for the haters. Winning, nobody wants that. But don't fight negative energy with negative energy. That will not work. So if the negativity is there, just play cool and just it's gonna end. So don't fight negativity with negativity. Just leverage. Be the one who is down.
Okay.
Yeah. And these things happens all over in businesses. I see a big brand like Safaricom is trolled every day, but at the end of the day, we buy the products. It's more of envy.
Kawivu. Anaingia kwa roho. Abbas ndio gonna agrees with you, saying if you experience negativity, know very well you are on the right track. Okay? Alright. Lakini wa Kenya tafadhali, sijui kama ni maombi ama ni viboko, lakini mtaache hiyo tabia ya uchawi. Thanks for coming in. It's been a pleasure having you. Rex Rofin, Rofs your world. Ana watu wangu wa mkeka wa mbao. Hamosi. Good to see you, brother. Keep doing what you're doing. Let's all keep moving this country forward.
Thank you.
A hand at a time. A roof at a time, a mukeka at a time. And a beam at a time. Well, it's been a pleasure having you, ladies and gentlemen. It's also a pleasure having you guys also on Facebook and on YouTube. It's been a pleasure having you also on Twitter. Because on Twitter, it's a pleasure to have you every single morning and having this conversation with you. I always tell you that without you, the tackle could never be. The tackle is because you are. Until tomorrow on the State of the Nation, I want to wish you a very good day. Enjoy your Monday, and I hope you don't get to lose the wisdom that you've learned today. And Masama, if there's one thing that you need to unlearn, which you have learned over time, the grab mentality. There's enough for everybody. You don't have to eat mine for you to be okay. You don't have to bite my leg for you to be full. You can still tafuta, unaweza katafuta yako na utakapata. Hii dunia imekaa sana hata kukuliko. Hii dunia iko na miaka mingi kukuliko na haijaisha. Unafikiri utamaliza? See you. Bye bye.